Today I'm going to be making a butternut squash soup, and I am looking forward to sharing the recipe with you. This is very wet because I was just trying to wipe up some of the dirt that was on this butternut squash that I just got from the CSA. I'm using 1 butternut squash, 1 potato, 1 carrot, a bunch of these were very thin leeks that I got from the CSA that are already washed, and some other ingredients, which I will show you as we go. As always, the recipe will be printed down below. First thing I'm going to do is prepare my leeks and get some leeks and garlic sauteing in my pot. This soup is creamy and delicious and absolutely wonderful. Everything is going to get blended, so I'm not super careful about the sizes that I chop, but I'm cutting them small. I think before I start sauteing, I'm just going to get everything chopped so it's really easy. I've washed my carrot well. I'm not going to peel it. The peel has lots of really beneficial vitamins and nutrients, so I'm just going to keep it unpeeled, but you can certainly peel your carrot if you want. And just a rough chop. I am going to peel my potato, however, because this has kind of a rough skin, so I'm going to quickly just get the peel off of this. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just get most of the peel off. And again, just a rough chop. Everything's going to cook down and then get blended, so you don't have to be too precise with your chopping. One of the things I really like about this soup. All right, and next comes the butternut squash. Butternut squash is kind of known for being difficult to chop into. You're going to cut off the ends. And this one's kind of long, so I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to peel the skin off of it. The more bulbous half of the squash is the part that has the seeds in it. So I am just going to cut it right down the center and scoop out the seeds. These seeds are delicious if you want to go ahead and toast them. All right, now that these don't have seeds, I'm just going to slice them into little half moons, and then again, kind of a rough chop. All right, all my vegetables are chopped. I'm ready to start sauteing. All right, I'm going to pour a little bit of olive oil into my pot. My pot has been heating, maybe about a tablespoon of olive oil, a little less. And I'm gonna start with some minced garlic. And this looks like about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, or 4 garlic cloves. Certainly you can make this as garlicky or not garlicky as you prefer. To this I'm going to add my chopped leeks. And I'm gonna let that just get tender. So I'm gonna saute it for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. There are a variety of seasonings that you can use, and this soup will be delicious with any or all of them. Very often I love to add a little bit of garam masala, cumin, and curry to it. But today I'm going to add tarragon, and I'm gonna add a little bit of sage. All right, these have been sauteing for a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna add the rest of my vegetables now. So I'm just gonna toss in my carrots, potato, and butternut squash. Stir this up just a little bit just to incorporate everything. Sprinkle in my herbs. And I would say you want to use probably about a teaspoon of sage and a teaspoon of tarragon. Start with a teaspoon of salt, especially if you're going to be using a stock that already has salt, and a good teaspoon or more of pepper. You can always add more salt if you think it needs salt when you're done. And to this, I'm going to add 1 32-ounce container of vegetable stock. Give it one last stir just to make sure everything is well incorporated. Then I'm going to cover it up and let it simmer until everything is cooked through and tender. So it got very dark and stormy outside, so I'm having to use overhead lighting right now. But this has now been simmering for about an hour on the stove. It smells incredible. I am going to use my little immersion blender to blend it all up. All right, that is all blended beautifully. So I'm just going to get my blender rinsed off, and we are almost done. So the next step is to just add the coconut milk. If you want to add cream instead of coconut milk, you can certainly do that. I'm just going to pour in the can of coconut milk and stir this together. This is absolutely delicious. You are gonna love this comforting soup on a cold day. One of my favorite ways is to sip a soup from a big mug. I'm about to go get cozy with this soup.